Yo, what is going on, everybody? Dom here, and today, oh crap, I'm having some technical difficulties. You know I don't know how to work the streaming software. But today, we're bringing you guys a schedule reaction. All of the NFL teams released their schedules within the past hour. Say what's up, Jack.
Hey, what's going on?
And we're about to just really jump into it, react to some of the schedules, beginning with the Seahawks, which I've got as the thumbnail for the video if I scoot myself over here. Yeah, let's just get straight into it with the Seahawks. At first, I was going to watch the little live show on NFL Network, but we're watching ESPN instead because NFL Network, it's too hard to get on the Xbox because of my cable thing, but you know how it is. So for the Seahawks, and after we react to the Seahawks, we might go on NFL.com and look at a couple of the other big games. Obviously, they're showing us a couple of these other Week 1 games right here, but I don't really want to watch their show. Their show seems real boring. Our show is where it's at. You guys know what's up. So beginning with Week 1 against the Falcons. On the road. To begin, I want to preface this by saying I think really highly of the Hawks this year. I think we're easily a top 10 team and possibly top 5. So that's where I'm coming from. If you think that they're missing the playoffs, I don't know what's gotten into you.
I mean, the NFC West is a good division, but I think also just especially with the division this year, I think it'll be a little bit harder to make it as a wild card.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little harder to make it as a wild card as well. However,
they did open up that extra. They're opening up the 2 extra playoff spots this year, though.
Yeah, the playoff spot thing is gonna be weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that's even. But anyway, to be honest, I think a lot of our games are gonna be won and lost by Russell Wilson, which means one. I think our defense is capable. You know, the rest of our offense, special teams. I think we're a well-rounded, well-coached football team, similar to last year. I think we've taken steps forward, but if we don't get Clowney, then I'm afraid we're gonna be.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're not gonna get Clowney.
It sounds less and less likely. All right, I just got a notification from NFL.com. I'm actually gonna try to show you guys. All right, I actually want to look at this in a second, so I'm going to minimize that. Anyway, we're going to go straight into it with the Seahawks schedule. And Week 1 in the Dome in Atlanta, I think Russell Wilson, Colin Cowherd said in maybe one of his last couple of videos that Russell will, if he was doing like quarterbacks, like if every team were to have the quarterback that fits their like culture the best, and he said that the Falcons would get Russell Wilson for the Southern culture, the family-based, Christian a little bit, fundamental, like traditional, and I like that little sentiment. I think that the Falcons could use like a Russell Wilson after they have their Matt Ryan. The Falcons are an interesting team this year because they've been
Todd Gurley.
I mean, Todd Gurley is pretty interesting. You'll be interested to see how that really changes the offense as opposed to like Devontae Freeman. But to me, it's really like they just haven't had an identity. They haven't really been good and they haven't been bad since their Super Bowl year. They've been like injured and unlucky. This last year they beat the Niners, right?
Yeah, by like an inch.
By an inch, they beat the Niners. They competed.
On the road.
I think they also beat the Saints. I don't remember if it was on the road.
They beat them both on the road.
Both on the road, right? I remember both of those games. The Falcons are a team that stays in games. This isn't going to be... And these 10 a.m. kickoffs are the ones that bite us. Everybody knows that.
Especially in the first game of the season. Like, you want to come out, like, you have a little jitters,
I mean, we've seen it plenty of times before. And we've choked in Atlanta a couple times in the past, I don't know, 6 times. I've seen us play there in the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years. But I really, I think we're a little too determined to lose that game. I think we're going to win a close one. I think the Falcons are going to be a competitive team in a really tough division this year. I think we're going to win that game, but that one's actually tougher the more I think about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, first of all, it is week 1, so you're going to have some jitters, and I think that it's definitely going to be an interesting look, just because I think that's the game when we got to sort of establish ourselves.
I'd agree. We really just have to establish ourselves. Yeah. Atlanta's they're no pushover like the last time we went there. If you guys remember that, they were terrible, but they're not the next team we're facing either. The Patriots on Sunday night, week 2.
No Tom Brady for the first time in 20 years, so
I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say we lose this game. I'm gonna say somehow Belichick cooks up a defensive scheme, the best one in September in probably recent memory, and Belichick is gonna manage to shut down Russell Wilson, or at least mitigate him enough to win the football game. New England is gonna have a really good defense. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna work the clock, and I don't know. For the first time, Brady's not going to be there. That might help Belichick's grasp on the game plan and on the clock management, everything, and it might hurt it. I think it'll definitely do each at different times, but
he'll definitely have a more mobile quarterback as well.
Well, Brian Hoyer or
Cody Kessler.
Or Jarrett Stidham is the most likely.
Probably Jarrett Stidham, yeah.
Jarrett Stidham, but Cam, we all still think would be a good pick for Belichick, but I think we go 1-1 out of these 2 games. I think we're gonna lose the Patriots, but not the Falcons.
That's a rough one. I think we got to start off strong at home.
You think we're gonna start off?
I think we're going to start off strong at home. I think we're going to make a statement too. This is going to, I think because we've had some bad blood with the Patriots, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. You remember Gronk said, "Screw it, I'm throwing some haymakers at the end of the Super Bowl." We've had bad blood with the Patriots, bro, and obviously, even though that kind of crew left for Tampa. I mean, we still don't like that logo. We still don't like what.
Freaking New England Patriots.
They're still the New England Patriots, right? They still got the Super Bowl and we didn't. But man, I see us going 1-1 out of those 2 games. We always have at least a couple games that are learning games. And I think one of these is going to be a learning game. Moving. So you think you got us 2-0? I've got us 1-1.
I'd say dominate in the first game, win a close one in the second game.
I mean, yeah, okay. Dallas, I think we're going to dominate in the third game. I think after 2 games under our belt, I think Mike McCarthy coming into our stadium is going to have his toughest road game in a long time. I don't know who they're playing week 1 and 2. We'll go look at that later, actually.
I can just tell you right now.
Okay. Now you can tell me if you know, but
yeah, I do know. Week 1 and 2, they are playing. They're playing the Rams and the Falcons first 2 games.
Rams and Falcons. Okay. Ooh. I'm gonna say. Well, the Rams and Falcons, I think the Falcons are going to beat the Cowboys. I think the Falcons are better. No, the Cowboys are good, man. I think I'm selling them short a little bit here. Well, when you consider, okay, the Cowboys have a really good defense. Two of the best young linebackers in football, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith. The secondaries, they made a hole by letting Byron Jones leave, and they filled it. They filled it with who again? Didn't they get a corner in the draft?
I think they drafted a corner, yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm forgetting. Here. No, they drafted McKinney, didn't they, in the second round or something?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
No, they didn't. I think the Vikings got McKinney. I'm actually gonna pull this up for you guys. Hold on. Hey, shout out to Steven Land. Shout out to you dropping a like. And we'll let you know about that Dolphins game next. We'll hurry up with this Dallas one. We'll come back to this Dallas one when we're looking at the full schedule, because we're going to be going through looking at the week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, just briefly as well. Shout out to our 4 viewers right now. This is also a channel record. Means the world to us. Anyway, the Cowboys. So I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see here. Here, I'm pulling it up so that they can see this screen that we're doing. Alright. Sorry, you guys. It looks crazy for a sec. There we go. Now you guys can see. I've got... Yeah, we've got the schedule here, but I'm gonna go back and look at who the Cowboys drafted, and then I'm just gonna use this screen also when we're looking at the schedule, stuff like that. But for this Cowboys game, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna dominate still. I think the Cowboys are getting a little bit overrated.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a good game.
Who do you think's winning though, Jack?
You know, I actually think the Cowboys are going to get this one. I think it's going to be a tough fought game, and I think they're going to win the game on a game-winning field goal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, all right. Oh, whoops.
It'll be a low-scoring game.
That's right.
It'll be a very low-scoring game, but we're going to lose on a field goal. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is actually helpful, though. So I can go look. The corner they drafted is just going to annoy me. And it looks unprofessional not to know. It's just annoying me mostly. Trevon Diggs. Oh my gosh. I knew it was from Alabama. I said McKinney. Alright. Hey, stream, I apologize. I was talking about Trevon Diggs, though. So they replaced Byron Jones with Trevon Diggs. They're not going to be as good as people think. Dak is going to play well in a contract year. They've got the young linebackers. Their secondary is going to be young with Diggs. Jeff Heath is in my opinion. Then you've got an aging offensive line. Obviously, Frederick's gone. They replaced him with Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin. I was about to say Ryan Ramczyk. That's Wisconsin lineman from years ago. Now he's on the Saints. But yeah, I think we dominate that game. So we've both got us at 2-1 going into this game at Hard Rock Stadium against. Can you remember any time we've played the Dolphins and it's been easy? Also, we're back on stream. We just had a little error. Sorry about that.
We played the Dolphins in 2012 and we lost. I remember.
So in 2012 we lost. That was Tannehill outplayed Russ. Actually, Jack, could you repeat that? Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah. So we played the Dolphins in 2012, and I believe that and 2016 were the only 2 times we've played them in the last 8 years. And, it was definitely a close one. Both games. We lost in Miami. Ryan Tannehill just outplayed us, and we won a close one at home in 2016 when Ndamukong Suh was on the Dolphins, and he screwed up Russell's ankle, and we still won the game.
That Ndamukong Suh one, I'm pretty sure that was the first game of the season in Seattle that year.
It was, yeah.
But there was that Tannehill game, and there's been a bunch of games from our childhood where we've just had way too close games versus the Dolphins. I remember back in the Reebok days, they would always make us wear the navy blue, even though we were on the road just because of the sun.
Right.
But I would be like, man, those shoes are sick. I don't know why I'm all tripping. Anyway, we're both going to predict a win there, right, Jack?
Yeah, I think Tua, even when he is a rookie,
he's not going to beat the Seahawks.
He's not going to beat the Seahawks, no.
He's not going to beat the Seahawks. We're going to make it out of Miami unscathed. We're going to be 3-1. And then facing the Vikings at home.
Sunday Night Football.
Man, I think we got their number.
We do. And, yeah, I totally think we have their number.
They're a good team. They're deep. They're well coached. They don't have swagger like we do. Minnesota is like, they do everything right in Minnesota. Their football team is great, right? If that Blair Walsh miss didn't prove it, we're just going to win every time that we play them. The football gods are on our side, and we got it. They don't. I don't know. The Vikings with Kirk Cousins seem devoid of passion, fire, energy.
It'll be interesting to see how Dalvin Cook also plays this year.
I think Dalvin Cook behind that O-line with Kubiak still as the O coordinator is going to have another great year, but I don't think the team's going to be particularly amazing. I think they're honestly going to...
It was a close one last year when we played the Vikings Monday night last year. I remember that game.
Hey, you know what? Bold prediction for the stream right now. Lions finish with a better record than the Vikings.
Real? Ooh, that's really bold, man.
You know why I'm going there?
Why?
So you've got all your B- players on defense. You got your deep team, the Vikings. Then you've got, I think that this defense of Detroit with Okudah, what's his face? What's the corner they just got? Desmond Trufant.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So they got Trufant, they got Okudah, they got their... So now Patricia has the man corners. Now he can do the Belichick defense correctly. And he can scheme pressure out of whatever front seven he has, whatever weapons in the front seven he has. I think the Detroit defense is going to give some people fits this year. Like, it's given people fits at the beginning of the year while Patricia's been the head coach, and they've been in close games a lot. I mean, we all know.
Yes, they have.
We've all been watching those close games the past 2 years. I think the Detroit are going to win a lot more of those. I think they're going to have a better record than the Vikings this year. That's a bold prediction from Dom.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Week 6, we got a bye. Thank God, rest ourselves up.
That is pretty early in the season to have a bye, though, I will say.
It's real early. You mentioned earlier, obviously, that Miami trip is the longest flight that you can take in the USA. That's obviously the longest.
We should be glad we don't have. I think the Seahawks are really glad they don't have a road game after that.
Yeah, that would be total grease if they gave us a road game after that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do that to us. And at Arizona, we've also had problems. Division rival. It's always going to be like that. But recently, it's been better. I honestly feel like.
I think on the road in Arizona, we always tend to play better.
No, I think. Well, when we were younger, I think it was the other way around, and I think it flipped, kind of with this like in the Nike jersey era as opposed to the Reebok jersey era. The Reebok jersey era, they gave us fits in their old home stadium, and now we kind of had the number at University of Phoenix. We played in the Super Bowl there, and then when they come here, have they had? Okay, I've actually been at two really.
They beat us our Super Bowl year at home.
I was at that game. That was really no fun because that was a true rivalry game where they just got us because we were.
They were so bad that year.
Man, we totally played down to our rival, Arizona Cardinals. They had Drew Stanton on the field that year.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, it wasn't him. It was John Skelton.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Drew Stanton. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna look this up.
In 2013.
2013 Seahawks.
It might have been Palmer.
I think that it was because you remember John Skelton only came in after Stanton and Palmer were injured.
No. John Skelton came in after Kevin Cobb got hurt.
So that's even more. Oh, Carson Palmer was the one, but Drew Stanton was the backup, I think. Yeah, so this was Palmer. The next year when we were at the Sunday night game and we lost.
That was Palmer.
I think that was Stanton.
No, it was Palmer. I remember.
That might have, yeah, I guess, but
no, that was the game that was famous when Stanton was like celebrating on the sideline.
Okay, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals got a game-clinching first down, and Drew Stanton was going crazy on the sideline. I think that's what it was.
That was 2015.
That was 2015, yeah.
Seahawks v Cardinals.
That was the game. That was the game right after Ricardo Lockett's career in Dallas.
That's right. Oh no, this was 2 games later because wasn't that after Halloween?
Yeah, because we had a bye week. No, because we had a bye week after the Dallas game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The game we went to was after the bye week.
Yeah, this was Carson Palmer too.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, I think we're getting a little off track.
We're totally getting sidetracked. Me and Jack like to reminisce on stuff like that.
But I think that on the road against Cardinals, I think Kyler Murray and he has some weapons this year too. He's got a boosted O-line. They drafted some really good O-linemen. Plus, he's got DeAndre Hopkins.
Go watch our draft videos. Cardinals won the draft. I won't say any more. Well, moving on. We've got our first game against our true rivals of the present day, which is obviously last year's NFC champions. I don't even want to say their name.
No.
Fuck the 49er gang. You guys, they're really good though. I think we're going to take this game because we're at home.
We are at home. We're going to have a lot of momentum.
I think we're going to have one of the most raucous crowds we've ever had, as we expect for this rivalry, and I think we're going to beat them because we're at home.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to beat us in that January 3rd game on the road. Predicting anything more than that is really tough with these rivalry games, and I just don't see either team taking both games this year. Yeah, okay. But I think we're gonna take the win because we're at home. What does that put us at? I've only got us losing to the Pats so far, right? So we're 5-1, 6-1, and 7-1, or 6-1 because after the bye. Buffalo, we're at Buffalo week 8 or
Buffalo's
week
a good
9.
team this year. They're going to be a really good team this year.
Yeah, Buffalo's going to be a really good team. I think people are sleeping on them a little bit.
They're probably going to win the East this year. So
I think all signs point to them winning the East. They should have the best quarterback. They should, all signs point to it. For some reason, I feel like we can win this game still, especially remembering that first Russell Wilson game in Buffalo.
That was in Canada.
That was in Canton, but you know what I'm talking about. It was technically in Buffalo Stadium. It wasn't at New Era Field.
No, it was in Canada. They were playing in Canada.
No, but it was at Buffalo. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, it was a road game, yeah.
It was at Buffalo, but not in Buffalo, but not at New Era Field, but it was in Canada. But as far as I was concerned, I was in 8th grade, and we just ruined whatever that place was. We stomped it. 50-17. Russell Wilson, 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Seahawks QB record.
And then I think most recently we played the Bills on Monday Night Football. I think 4 years ago.
And that game was awesome. I was actually at that game too. That's the last Seahawks game I went to.
Yeah, I believe that Rex Ryan was their coach back then.
Rex Ryan was their coach. Tyrod Taylor was their QB. Lorenzo Alexander was up there for the lead in the league in sacks. So was Cliff Averill on the Seahawks. And we stopped him on 4th down at the end of the game. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't want to get too sidetracked. But this game, I think that's going
to be a loss.
You think that's a loss? All right.
I think that's a loss. On the road, it's going to be really cold. Yeah, I think that's a loss.
I think we're going to win that game. I think we're going to go to 7-1. You've got us at 6-2.
6-2.
All right. In LA, man, I think this is our turn to beat them here. I think this is our turn. We just need to win in that. We just need to win in that stupid futuristic stadium, man. Dude, that new horn logo, we can't lose to that logo. Like,
no.
Every other time we lost to the Rams, at least we were losing to an actual Ram. What is that? Okay, we're winning. We're not losing to that logo. But honestly, the Rams are not. They just don't have the personnel to scheme up what Sean McVay wants anymore. I don't think.
They're retooling.
They're retooling a little bit. The ages, the contracts, it doesn't match up anymore the way it did that one year. They went all in and they kind of lost it.
After the Super Bowl, yeah.
I mean, they could be good in like a year or two, but they, unless a couple players really overperform, they're really not doing much this year. I think they're going to be the 4th best team in the division.
Hey, let's not forget though. I mean, well, actually, I don't need to say this right now, but the Seahawks haven't had a losing record since 2011.
That's right.
So,
honestly, with Russell, we haven't had a losing season, and that says it all.
Exactly.
Kyler's already had one. And speaking of Kyler, obviously this Thursday night game, I think this is going to be competitive. Or at least, I don't know. I think it's going to be competitive.
We'll have a raucous crowd for sure.
Like, something about me just says that Arizona's going to, they've been decent against us in Seattle. I don't know. Something about this game feels a little scary to me.
We are coming off a short week.
Ooh, we get a short. Or no, we're not coming off a short week because we're in LA on Sunday. Then we have a normal week. Or no, we have
to fly back though.
Normal week. Then we have short week for Thursday night. And then, then 11 days later we play Monday night. For a second, that confused me.
Which is the biggest break you can get?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that Sunday. I mean, the Sunday to Thursday, a lot of teams have done it. And it definitely doesn't give teams a good record. But, I don't know.
It'll be a close game.
It'll
be a close game, I think.
Since I have us beating the Bills, I'll have us losing to the Cardinals. I'll have us at 6-2 or 7-2.
So you think both of our losses are going to be at home?
Hey, last year.
That's really saying something, man.
Do you remember what happened last year? We won all those road games.
Yeah, that is true, but they got to get back to that home field advantage, though.
Well, that's where teams are going to try to hit us hardest, I think.
Yeah, and everyone knows, like, historically in the past, 8 years that the Seahawks have had the best home field advantage.
Hey, this is another thing that unfortunately we have to think about. We might not have a home field advantage with COVID. We might be playing in an empty stadium.
It'll depend on like how it all goes.
We might be playing in an empty stadium, other than when we go to Miami.
I can't even imagine the Seahawks playing in CenturyLink Field without the 12 man.
Me neither.
Can't even picture that.
But I can right now because crazier things have happened.
No, but just like the image though, just like what it would be like.
It's sad. I mean, it's sad.
I guarantee you, they'd probably still be outside the stadium.
You think that
all the Seahawks fans would probably still be outside the stadium?
Would you go outside the stadium?
Probably, yeah. If they had like a big outside.
A big what?
If they had like a big video screen outside showing the game.
Just say screw social distancing.
Well, I think by whenever this game is in November, I think that even the start of the game, even like the start of the season, I think that Washington will be in like a phase that we can have like the gatherings.
I mean, I hope so.
At least by September.
Honestly, sporting events are the last thing they're gonna let happen, especially the 12th man, especially a big crowd. Like, I don't know. I think it's incredibly unlikely that it's incredibly unlikely that we know that we figure out what's gonna, it's incredibly likely that we have any major changes between here and August, but I can't tell. Honestly,
I mean, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. We're not a politics show. We're not going to discuss COVID too much. We hope
you almost just can't even picture the NFL without fans.
No, like you can picture it, but you can't you can't.
If that dude, I read something the other day, and it said if they don't allow fans in the games, the NFL would lose like $2 billion in revenue.
At minimum.
Yeah.
Which
would be terrible.
Yeah, the NFL's that's terrible. But I mean, what can you do? It's really what can you do? But anyway, we both got the Seahawks at 7-2. You have the Seahawks winning that game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got them. All right.
Philadelphia Eagles, Monday night on the road.
We won a playoff game here last year. I feel like they're gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot of angst for us. But are we really gonna lose to the Eagles?
I think we're gonna lose to the Eagles. I think that's a loss right there.
That long week. This is a long week.
This is like as long as you can have.
Short week, long week. Yeah, I think we're going to lose to the Eagles. The more I think about it, Wentz has barely got more weapons, but, we barely won that game last year. I see us getting into one of those close games where the clock gets managed away, and we're probably gonna lose the Eagles. We'd be 7-3, both of us would have us. So we'd have us at 7-3 at that point. And then moving into the Giants on December 6th, we're gonna win this game.
I think we will.
The Giants are still too young. I don't know. They have pieces. They get more pieces every year, but they don't have the personnel we do. They don't have the coaching we do. They don't have the culture we do. They don't have the quarterback we do. They have the better run game than us with Barkley, and that's about it. We're winning that game, and it's at home.
Yes.
And it's late in the season. Late in the season at home is our best football, other than against Arizona.
When it gets really cold.
other than against Arizona for some reason. And then we're playing the New York teams back to back at home. How funny is that? And they're just shipping the New Yorkers here, huh?
This will definitely be, I think, the more interesting game.
The Jets, yeah. I like the Jets. I thought they were going to be a better team last year. I think the pieces are pieces are definitely in place this year.
I definitely think that Sam Darnold's going to have a breakthrough year, though.
I've been thinking Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in that draft class for a while. I mean, other than Lamar now, maybe, but I think Darnold...
He's going to have a breakthrough year, I think, though. He's going to have a lot. Like, he had that whole thing when he had mono. I think that just sort of set him back a little bit, but I think he's going to break through this year. And he's going to be, I think, he's going to give the Seahawks a test, but in the end, I definitely see the Seahawks just pulling away.
I think the Jets are going to be in that 6-10 to 10-6 range. They're a mid-tier team. They're not in the lower end, and they're not in the high end, but they could be 10-6 with 2 lucky games, or 6-10 with 2 unlucky ones.
They did just bolster their running backs, their running back depth. They just signed Frank Gore.
Yeah, he's backing up who I think is still one of the most talented backs in the league.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, the Jets are going to be improved. I don't see them beating us. They're not. I think their organization, their coaching, I'm not quite sold on. This is definitely a kind of a prove-it year for them too. But and Jamal Adams is also wanting a contract. Hopefully he plays all the games and does well.
You think he might hold out?
It sounded like he was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, we'll beat the Jets. The Redskins we're gonna beat. The Redskins are one of the worst teams in the league. They're gonna have a good front seven, but their roster is so depleted, man. And
Chase Young.
No, they're gonna have such a good front seven, but their roster is so depleted. Other than that, they've got Daron Payne, or is it Daron Payne that they have, or do they have another one of those Alabama linemen? Let me look up Redskins depth chart.
Do not have Trent Williams.
No, obviously their roster is so depleted. I mean, other than that, who else do they have that's not a pass rusher?
Well, they don't have Dunbar anymore.
No.
Dunbar's on the Seahawks.
Dude, and we don't know why we're so lucky. What we did to deserve that gift of a trade.
Yeah.
I think Quentin Dunbar is, terribly... Well, now he's not underrated because he's getting a lot of recognition. Once that trade happened, people see that he's going to be our number 1 corner. It's going to be really good. So they've got Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan, and Chase Young. Then Thomas Davis in the middle. And then they've got, as far as other middle backers, they've got, Reuben Foster, John Bostic, and Kaliki Hudson.
Right.
So they've got some dudes in that front seven. And then other than that, though, Landon Collins is also a good player on that defense, but AP is probably not going to play this year, or I guess he's planning on it. Darius Geis is okay. He's good. I like Darius Geis, LSU boy, but he's not. He's nothing special, I wouldn't say. I don't know, man. I don't see the Redskins winning more than 6 games. I think they're in that lower end. I think we're gonna beat them unless something drastic happens. Like we'd have to come out. The Redskins would have to come out. Firing.
And this is late in the year too, so they're probably gonna end up, with their heads down at the end of the year.
I mean, why would they be able to beat us?
Because we come in too cocky.
Yeah, that's really the only reason. Which, I mean, we've seen it happen. Like that Arizona game was December 22nd. This year, hey, you know what? This year on December 20, was it either December 22nd or 23rd? we played Arizona here, and we lost to Kenyon Drake's like 160 yards.
Yeah.
It felt reminiscent of those other games.
I wanted to rip my hair out that game. Oh.
I'm not even gonna.
Hey,
let's not think about that game.
Yeah.
Let's not think about that game.
We could have won that. We could have won the division.
Yeah, that
would have won that game.
That one was rough.
Oh.
Man. So moving on. What's our record after this Redskins game? Are we still have 3 losses? So what? Are we 11-3?
11-3, yeah.
Okay, so we're 11-3, and we play LA. I think we're gonna beat the Rams at home. I told you before how the Rams are probably gonna be retooling. I mean, they're just. I don't see them in the mix at this point. They could steal a trap game from us, but like they did last year, Sean McVay schemed the hell out of us last year. That was hard to watch. You know, I'm not going to predict that Sean McVay schemes one out of us here, though. I think this is really where our season could go either direction of wild card or division champs. I don't think we're going to miss the playoffs, but if we go 12-4, it'll be because of this Rams game, or this Niners game, and if we go 13-3, we'll probably win the division. Because I don't see the Niners going. You know, it's either us or the Niners. I don't see both of us getting both of us getting 4 losses. I doubt it.
Yeah, and definitely one of the wild card teams is going to be an NFC West team.
There's no way that there's one team out of the NFC. I think there might be 3 NFC West teams in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because of that extra spot.
I mean, that extra spot, even if there wasn't an extra spot, I think the Cardinals and Rams would each have,
I think the Cardinals have the slight edge.
Beggar's chance. The Cardinals have proven even less. But, I gave them a chance to steal a game from us. And I said even, like we've talked about the Cardinals, and we've talked about how they are probably going to be better than the Rams. The only reason we say that is because of the personnel and because, Cliff Kingsbury has never failed, really, with a good quarterback. But if everything goes wrong, then Arizona is, not only did they not have the surprise good year that they think they did, they're further behind on the rebuild than they thought they were. However, if the Rams might have an okay this year, they still have a bunch of superstar players, around their team. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. They could be competing in a year or two, no matter if they throw away their quarterback,
Right.
Like, the Rams have a little more flexibility. The Cardinals really need to prove stuff.
Right.
And I just, I don't think the Rams feel like they need to. I don't know. I don't feel a strong sense of passion from the Rams, particularly. Like, they seemed like they were swaggy a couple years ago, but they seem like they're like, when they're up, and when they're down, they're down. They're kind of Hollywood. Like,
literally Hollywood.
They don't have that St. Louis, Midwest. Really, they don't have any of that Missouri in them anymore. They're Californians at heart. I think they're just gonna, I don't think they're gonna win that game. I give them a 40% chance to, but I'm gonna go with my 60%, with my gut feeling, and say no. And man, this Niners game at San Fran, the end of the year.
That'll be a good one. It could be like last year. You never know.
So
for the division. Well,
my reasoning earlier. Do you remember, Jack, what I said earlier about the Niners? I said the only reason I'm going to give them that game was because we were at home. The only reason I was going to give us that game. But by that same logic, I've got to give this game to the Niners. We're not going to beat them twice. I want to predict that we're going to win this game so bad. And I think we totally could. But odds are we're splitting those two games. And it only makes sense to give each team their home win.
Just like we did last year.
Except for that we won the road game and lost the home game.
Exactly.
And that could be the way it is again too, but you realize what that just means that I predicted, Jack? The Niners are going to be NFC West Division champions once again.
Wow.
The Niners are really good, man. I hate you guys, but you're really good. And you best believe that if we see you in the playoffs, we on your ass.
Yeah.
You're not winning we're winning that game in the playoffs.
Hey, I'm just going to say it. We haven't faced the 49ers in the playoffs since 2013 the NFC Championship.
No, and man, dude, it'll be
get that back again. Oh my God.
It will be that intense. It'll be just as intense, if not more.
Yep.
And there's a good chance that it happens.
For sure.
Man, I'm kind of burned out. I'm going to go check. Thanks to everybody that tuned into the stream, first of all. Me and Jack are probably going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But we appreciate everybody that tuned in at some point today.
Very much appreciate it.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll see you guys in our next video. My school has actually been in finals week, so we haven't been able to get much out. But we'll be getting a ton out starting Saturday. I'll be putting most of my time into YouTube, and I'll be getting videos out hopefully with a consistent schedule as early as next week. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in during the beginning while we're just really kickstarting our channel. With that being said, it's been Dom and Jack, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.